Have you ever come across somebody born with food allergies? Perhaps you yourself have dealt with them, whether small-scale or life-threatening. Today, I will present two strong lines of thought about why food allergies may be on the rise. One line which proposes genetics to be the culprit, and another which proposes over-sanitation to be at fault. Which is right? Is there a clear catalyst for why food allergies are on the rise? While I do have two close acquaintances who have anaphylactic reactions to certain foods, namely peanuts, this connection will not form the basis for my speech. All of my research comes from credible sources. During this speech, I will lay out for you supporting and objecting thoughts on why food allergies may be on the rise. First, I will discuss the background and rise in food allergies over recent years. Then, I will describe the possible reasons for and against food allergies rising due to genetics. Lastly, I will lay arguments for and against food allergies developing through over-sanitation. To begin, let's get some background information on the rise in food allergies. The Instructional Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health relates, food allergy is increasingly recognized as a growing public health burden and has been referred to as the second wave of the allergy epidemic. This publication goes on to say that food allergies have been on the rise in recent decades and may affect up to 10% of babies in Western nations. The Health Daily Digest reports that while nearly 17 million people in Europe struggle with food allergies, if we project that onto the global population of 7 billion, that would mean between 63 million and 1.16 billion people could potentially have food allergies. However, one thing to note is there is no foolproof evidence of whether the growth in rates of food allergy are based on new allergy cases or persistent ones. In other words, as the population grows, it would only make sense that the number of food allergies would grow as well, especially if cures are not found. More people, more food allergies. Now, there are many people who believe our genetics are largely to blame for the increase in food allergies and others who do not. First, professor and medical researcher Young Ai Lee reports through Science Daily and When Twins Are Studied. It appears that about 80% of food allergies are inherited. Science Daily also reports a massive study of about 1,500 children with food allergies in both Germany and the US revealed 5 genetic loci, or fixed positions where genes sit in a chromosome, linked to food allergies, 4 of which were associated with issues like asthma, dermatitis, and Crohn's disease. In contrast, many experts believe that changes in environment, not genetics, is leading to a rise in food allergies, specifically ones like the peanut allergy. Medical News Today reports that particularly as it relates to peanuts, the environment's role is crucial and that early exposure is key to developing food tolerance in child's immune systems. Along with this idea would be the reality that many people outgrow food allergies in time, possibly proving that environment, not genetics, plays the bigger role in food allergies rising within the world. Furthermore, another line of debate is whether or not food allergies are rising due to our increasing sanitation standards. What I mean by this is that as humans become more sanitary and less exposed to bacteria and infection, their immune systems potentially weaken and are more susceptible to food allergens. In support of linking higher allergies to higher sanitation, there are many who believe in the hygiene hypothesis. According to David Shub, the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology has concluded that wealthier children are more allergic to foods like peanuts than their poorer peers. Shub explains that this group of believers believes that children who are not exposed to enough germs at a young age, which are also wealthier, are more likely to develop allergies to foods like peanuts. Along these same lines, Dr. Alexandra Santos for the BBC News reports that while there may be no certain reason for the world's higher allergic reaction to food, science proposes some theories. One being that kids aren't getting infections like they once did. Santos explains that with less parasites to fight off, the human immune system can begin turning to fight harmless things instead of like food proteins. Contradicting this idea of linking sanitation with rising allergies would be many medical specialists like Graham Hook, Professor Emeritus and microbiologist in his TED Talk. He explains, our microbiota is under strain and is rather abnormal because of our failure to inherit mother's microbiomes because of diminished contact with a natural environment and because of antibiotics and bad diet. Rook is saying that antibiotics and a refined processed diet, not hand washing and sanitation, we would only introduce dangerous infections back into the public health, not cure food allergies, if we stop sanitizing. To conclude, the controversy on whether or not allergies are simply due to genetics or over-sanitation is an issue that cannot be easily resolved. There is research that supports as well as research that contradicts both sides of the issue. If you are a person with food allergies, you may feel strongly about one side or the other. Today, I talked briefly about the rise in food allergies, the possibility of food allergies being linked to genetics, as well as the possibility of allergies rising due to higher sanitation, which is linked to higher socioeconomic standards. Because the evidence is still inconclusive, you may decide for yourself which side you support. Thank you for your time.